All right, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Adam, and today we're going to be talking about how to lose fat and gain muscle. Hell yeah. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, first things first, I wasn't always the way I am today. In the past, I was overweight. I actually struggled with that. Once I hit the age of 12, I just blew up like a balloon. And over the years, I kind of fluctuated back and forth. I lost all the weight once I went to high school, and then I gained it again in college and lost it again. So it's kind of like I was struggling, even though I was in shape, I was, back and forth. When it comes to dieting, I've been everywhere. So now I've gotten to a point where I fine-tuned it, and yeah, I don't want to share some of that. What helped me could possibly help you. So let's get into it. So tip number 1, eating healthy raw vegetables. So one reason why you want to eat healthy and raw vegetables is it makes you feel more full. Vegetables are full of fiber. They take up more space in your stomach. And when your stomach's stretched out, it sends a signal to your brain saying, hey, we're full, we don't need to eat anymore. And you feel better. You don't feel hungry. Ghrelin is not being released. Ghrelin's a hunger hormone that makes you feel hungry. So that's not being released, you don't feel hungry. And your body's like, okay, we're good, we're straight. So by filling up your stomach and making yourself more full, you're gonna feel less hungry. If you feel less hungry, you're gonna overeat all that bad stuff like cookies, high calorie foods, you're gonna eat that less. So eating raw vegetables is a great way to reduce your calorie intake, especially if you incorporate it into just eat like what you would normally eat, but instead of eating a cheeseburger, why don't you eat like a salad first and then see how much of a cheeseburger you can eat. You're not gonna be able to eat that whole cheeseburger, I promise you. And that's generally what happens when you start incorporating these higher fiber foods, high fiber, more voluminous. You're not gonna be able to eat as much as the bull crap. And over time, it's gonna help. You're gonna gradually make those changes. And when you make slow changes, it's gonna create a longer lasting change that you can sustain. So eat more vegetables, all right? Find vegetables you like. Don't eat crappy stuff that you have no interest in. Some people like kale, some people like collards. I like eating kale. I'll take kale, I'll put it in a bowl, I'll take some lemon juice and squirt it all over it. I'll throw in some tomatoes, some raw broccoli, and I'll eat it just like that. That's it. Maybe I'll add some salt, pepper, just add a little flavor to it, and I'll eat it like that. Not everyone can do that. That's cool. Just try to eat more vegetables overall. Don't do fad diets. So myself have done fad diets. I've done every single diet that you can imagine. I've done vegetarian. I've been vegan for 8 months. I've done keto, and that one hurt. I was hurting after 30 days. I was hurting. That one was actually worse than being vegan. Yeah, trust me, done a lot of diets. Don't do fad diets. Anything that cuts out a significant portion of any food group is a diet that's honestly not going to be sustainable long term. Because if you're cutting out a whole food group like carbs, or you're cutting out fats, or you're cutting out, heaven forbid, you're cutting out proteins. If you cut those things out, knowing that you like eating them, and then you try to oh, I'm on a diet, I'm never going to eat butter again. I'm never going to eat bread ever again. Come on, man, you're just not sustainable. And then when you lose the weight, you're going to put it right back on when you rebound, when you stop the diet. So don't do fad diets. Those don't really help. You want to just eat the things that you normally eat, but lower calorie. And you can switch out, find substitutes. Instead of using regular barbecue sauce, use low calorie barbecue sauce. Start doing things like that. It makes it more sustainable long term. Instead of using sugar, use sweetener, stuff like that. Stop thinking that You know, you have to follow the diet. Because personally, I've done it myself and it sucks. I did keto. I did the 48-hour fasting. I did, gosh, man, what else did I do? I used to do a window fast where you would do 16 hours of not eating and then 8 hours of eating or something like that. You would create some windows, it's just all bullshit. It worked, you lost weight, but you were suffering. And like, what do you want to do? Do you want to lose weight and be in pain, or do you want to lose weight and be happy and not hate your life? All right, so it's up to you. Anyway, cardio. Cardio is another big thing that you can do to lose fat. But cardio does not have to be intense. Everyone thinks that you have to go out sprinting or running. You don't have to do that. You don't have to run. You don't have to sprint. Cardio can be done gently. Walking, that's cardio. Cleaning your house, that is also cardio. Do cardio. Do the types of cardio that make you happy. My personal favorite is using the elliptical. I like using the elliptical. I also like walking. I go on long walks sometimes. I don't really run that much. I don't run a lot as much as I used to. I used to be in cross country and track, but nowadays I don't really do it a lot. Just do something that makes you happy, if that makes any sense. But you don't have to, it doesn't always have to be highly intensive. Simply jumping on a treadmill and going for a walk for an hour at a decently moderate pace. Like, not like you're not just like lazily strolling, but at a decently moderate pace. You know, you're not hurting yourself, but you're also not like just lazily moving along. But even that burns calories. Like, moving burns calories. We don't have batteries, we have fat. So every time you move, every time you blink, every time you talk, me talking to you right now, doing this video, the way I'm moving my arms, like that's burning calories. It's burning calories. When you read a book and when you're thinking, you're burning calories. Everything burns calories. So, you know, it's just to varying degrees. Also, another good point about doing cardio gently is it's gentler, it's more gentle on your joints. If you're running all the time or you're doing a lot of really high intensive stuff, it's going to take a lot longer for you to recover. And then two, it can be a little harder on your joints, you know? And I don't know about you, but long term, you can't do I personally can't do like a shit ton of sprints. That's not really going to benefit you. It's going to tear you down, and then you're not going to be able to lift weights. You're not going to be able to walk. You're not going to be able to do anything like outside of like what you just did. And when that screw yourself over for the next 3-4 days, because like you're hurting. You went from doing nothing to doing way too much. So if you're getting into it and you're trying to lose fat and you're a newbie or you're a beginner, or even if you're intermediate, don't do a crap ton of like highly intensive cardio. All right, another thing to build muscle, more reps and less weight. So in the past, I have to say I wasn't guilty of this to the extent that I was lifting super heavy and not really like focusing too much on hypertrophy. I just knew that I was out of shape and I was like, okay, I gotta do something. So I started off with calisthenics. So I did a ton of push-ups. I did like 500 a day, 500, 400. Now, well, not like every single day, but like I would take a day off. I would do like a whole workout and then take a day off and then do it again. And that was a lot, honestly. I looking back on it, I was like, wow, I was crazy. Now, when I started lifting, it's a totally different game because I was getting used to like the weight and proper form and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I want to get big, I want to get strong, I want to get it, and I want to get it fast. So I just started lifting heavier than I was supposed to. It was weights that I could lift, but you know, I couldn't do more than like 8 reps. So it was, wow, I was less than that, or 5 reps. I was like, okay, I can do it 5 times and I'm good. I'm going to become stronger. I'm going to be bigger. No, that's not the case. When you're lifting, you want to generally do like more than 10 reps. Like 15 is like the sweet spot. If you follow Greg Doucette, which I highly recommend, he's another YouTuber and fitness coach. and he recommends like between 10 and 20 reps. 15 is like that sweet spot. And I can personally like vouch for that. Like when I started lifting in that rep range, one, I got injured less. I didn't hurt my joints as much. And you know, the weight was a lot more manageable, and I was still making strength as well as size gains. In fact, I made the most size gains that I ever have while leaner than I've ever been in my life. So, I mean, it speaks for itself. You know, more reps, less weight. So if you can do 15 reps, and when I say 15, I mean like you get to 15 and you're like done. Like you're barely like, you're like 14. Oh shit, I don't know if I got it. All right. 15, it should be like that, you know, like you're just getting into it. And if you're able to go above that, like you're getting to like 18, 19, add a little bit more weight and then so you can bring it back down. But 15 is the key point, all right? Stop lifting like 5 reps unless you're trying to be a power lifter. In that case, more power to you, because power lifter, get it? More power. All right, let me stop. But seriously, more power to you if you want to be a power lifter. But if you're trying to like just look good, it's not really a lot. Like it's not hard to look good. Stretch often. I personally set a day aside a week that I stretch, dedicate to stretching. Stretching is wonderful. It prevents injuries. It also helps like, you're just gonna feel better. If your muscles are super tight and you're not flexible, a flexible muscle is also more of a bigger muscle. Think about like spaghetti, and like if you never stretch it, like it's just gonna stay like hard, like rock solid, dry noodles. But if you boil it in the pot, it's gonna be more loose and it's gonna be more voluminous. Like a pack of spaghetti is like that thin, but once you throw it in the pot and boil it and loosen it up, it fills the whole pie. It's kind of like the same way with your muscles. If your muscles are super tight and they're super rigid and no flex, like you're not going to look, it's going to negatively affect your physique. So that's why it's really important to stretch so you can get that good range of motion. More range of motion, the more better and effective that your workouts will be. If you just barely move. Other than that, you know, if you're super tight, you won't be more prone to injury, and then that once again can set you back and you won't be able to make any size gains. So stretch often. And stretching also burns calories. So there you go. So if you want something to do that's a little more laid back, stretch. Go for a walk, warm your muscles up. Sometimes all I'll do is I'll do like 15, 20 minutes of cardio, or I'll go like for a walk or something. And then afterwards, I'll stretch when my muscles are warmed up and engaged. So that's something you guys can adopt as well. Remember to drink water. Drinking water, and remember to also take in a decent amount of salt. I want to put that in as well, but salt and water go hand in hand. If you're drinking water, you're not drinking salt, you're not really going to get the full benefits of the water. You have to have an adequate amount of electrolytes. So don't just drink a shit ton of water and think like, okay, I'm hydrating myself. Yeah, you're hydrating and you're also flushing your system out of every freaking thing that it needs. Like, don't drink a shit ton of water without supplementing with salt. That's why they say electrolytes, right? Salt, another thing too, salt does not hurt you. You can have as much salt as you want. It has 0 calories. 0 calories. So don't be afraid of salt. That's a bonus. Last but certainly not least, diet drinks are your friend. This is my favorite tip, okay? My all-time favorite tip. Diet drinks. Diet drinks. Drink your diet drinks. Drink diet drinks. They're not gonna hurt you. They're not gonna cause you to gain weight. They're wonderful. At least to me they are. They may not be for you, but for me personally, they've been wonderful because I can drink as many as I want and there's very minimal calories, like 5 calories per bottle. Or 10 for some, but that's so minimal. And like after not having sugar for a while, you kind of get used to the diet taste. It doesn't really taste like diet anymore. Honestly, I've gotten used to it pretty quickly because before I started my diet drinks, I was drinking nothing but water, trying to cut out sugar, and I was like, oh, this sucks. Like, drinking water straight sucked. And I was like, this is bad. So I need to have something that like tastes good, that I don't hate myself. And then I started drinking diet ginger ale. That was really good. And then I was like, okay, this is really good. 0 calories? Shit. Oh, all right. So then I started drinking diet Gatorade, Coke, sodas. Diet drinks. I stay away from Coke and stuff now, like darker color ones, because I'm not trying to like stain my teeth or anything. But yeah, dark colored diet drinks rather are just lifesaver. And I'm going off of that too, using sweetener instead of sugar whenever you can is another great way to lose fat, because we gain so much fat so easily from the things that we drink. When you drink your calories, you don't realize how much you're actually gaining. Like, it's a lot. You can literally drink 1,000 calories and not even realize it. Like, it's that easy. I mean, you'll go through it so quickly. Like, a soda can is like, 360 calories? You drink 3 of those and boom, you're at 900. 1,000. Freaking, that's unbelievable. That is crazy. And that is in addition to cheeseburgers, fries. When you eat fries, they're generally fried in animal fat, which is more calories. Hey, this is a resource. It's a resource that wasn't available, hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago. Back then people just had water and juice, but in a modern society where we don't have to move as much. Like, let's be frank, like the reason why the obesity rate and the fatness and all this like unhealthiness is so high is because we don't have to do anything anymore. All of our jobs and everywhere like we need to go is generally by car. We don't have to do as much anymore. Everything's like, society's just made life so easy. So it's so easy to get out of shape and find it hard to keep it off, especially when you can't incorporate a lot of activity into your day-to-day life. That's just modern society. So modern times call for modern measures, and I think diet sodas are a good modern solution because they taste sweet, once again, and you get what you want, which is a soda or a drink, whatever drink of your choice. And it tastes almost as good as the original. Not quite as good, but almost as good. There you go. There's your tips to gain fat, lose fat, and gain muscle. All right. So like, comment, subscribe if you found this information valuable, and I will see you on the flip side. Peace.
That's my fat boy.